Thank you all so much for watching my show. William Wallace for America. With me today in this interview on the road right now is Louisiana State Representative Jonathon Goudeau. Representative Goudeau, how are you doing today, my friend?
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. It's very hot out there. I'm currently putting signs out and trying to reach all my constituents and get my message across. It's hot, but I'm taking an opportunity to speak with my good friend William right there.
I appreciate that. Well, I always keep an eye on what you're doing, and I'm in the halls of the legislature during session, and I see firsthand how hard you're working and do work for not only your constituents, but I notice how you try to reflect legislation that not only reflects your district but also reflects what the people of Louisiana would benefit from. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on today and talk a little bit. There's a lot of people in the state who might not know you, people in your district who are very familiar with it, but I like doing all these interviews across the state because I think that's the best way that we as a state pull together, find things that we can unite on to make a big difference. Talk about where your district is for those who don't know you.
My district goes from South Lafayette Parish on Ambassador Caffrey all the way down into Vermilion Parish, which is on Martin Luther King Drive. For people that know this area, it's probably 8 blocks past the courthouse. From left to right, I go to Highway 339 all the way to Johnson Street.
Okay. What did you do before you were a state rep?
I'm a local business owner for 32 years of indoor recreation company. We do man caves.
I like that. Oh, we'll have to talk about that here pretty soon.
And,
And
also I have 19 years of law enforcement as well too.
So that's a pretty amazing combination. So not only have you seen the business side and have experience with the business side, but you've also been on the law enforcement side, so you know the law enforcement side as well.
Correct. That's why I've chosen the Criminal Justice Committee that I serve on. I serve on the Homeland Security, and I also serve on the Commerce Committee as well too because of my business background.
Just out of curiosity, we always talk about improving the business environment in Louisiana as a way to solve many problems. And one of those problems is crime. And so being in law enforcement, have you seen firsthand what happens when you don't have the right business community built or the right business policies and how it affects crime in our state? Have you seen that firsthand?
I have. And look, good news on that point. Just yesterday, I had the 60th chief of police in my area here endorse me, so I'm very proud of that, and I really thank them for their trust and support in my efforts, which allows me to give them the tools they need to put criminals behind bars, to tighten up, make our community safer as well too. I passed that catalytic converter bill to help them, give them more tools to enforce that as well too. And the fentanyl, I was co-authored that as well too. So we're making some strides in the crime area because it's bad, not just here, it's everywhere. We're trying to prevent what's coming down, these smash and grabs you've seen all over the country. We don't want that happening in our state. And I'm
That's right.
Give our law enforcement the tools they need to put these criminals away and not just release them the minute they're putting, before they can finish their paperwork, get back out on the street. We can't have that.
It's interesting because I know there's a small movement, to be able to try to get criminal justice reform for the ones who deserve it. How do you tie that in?
Each state has different laws, different rules that they do. As we know, California, they're tough on crime is just not there,
Right.
and real disheartening to see what's happening. Law enforcement, it's hard to recruit these guys and gals. It's even harder to retain them, because
Right.
they don't want to go somewhere else. They don't feel protected any longer, and I'm a good Jeff Landry say we need to, he's not going to defund the police.
I got you. Good. Yeah, I'm all about funding the police more. What do you see as the major problems across our state that you think you can do something about?
I'm sorry, repeat that question.
What do you think are the major problems that Louisiana is facing that you can do something about?
Well, again, crime is on the top of the list, and no matter who you talk to across the state, crime is there. In my district specifically, the new district I'm fixing to take over, Abbeville and the Vermilion Parish area, the infrastructure is horrible. We need to get a lot of capital outlay to take care of that. I'm tired of the promises being made, and let's pull taxes here, let's get revenue here, get federal dollars here, and then they make everybody vote on promise it, but they don't deliver. They move the money back somewhere else, and we got to stop that too. Whatever our people agree that money goes to, it needs to go to that.
Yeah, what you're describing to me, you've seen the shell game is what those are my words. But
Yeah,
when I look at like you're saying, where money gets appropriated one place, and then next thing you know, it gets pulled and rearranged, and next thing you know, it's popping up someplace else, and the projects that really they need to get done don't get done, but everybody else gets a splash park.
yeah.
And then of course, then the bureaucracy of our state gets involved, and then we never see the money again. So when you're talking about those kind of or antics, we'll say that are happening, what do you think you can do to help stop and protect that money and get it rededicated or dedicated or to go where it was dedicated to in the first place?
Well, we're going to have to start with getting some like-minded people in office and build our coalition back. Got to work across the aisles. You got to get a lot of things done with our colleagues, not just in the House, but in the Senate. And we got to work together to find out what's important. Because look, just because I may have a problem in my district doesn't mean someone doesn't have the problem in their district. We have to work together to get the funds released, because if they need something, I got to vote on theirs. If I need something, they're going to have to vote on what I need. So we got to work together to get this done. We have to work that with our new governor as well, too. It's very, very vitally important. If we're going to have a majority in the House and a supermajority in the Senate, we need to capitalize on that, make this state that what it can be. Look, Louisiana, with the resources we have in Louisiana, oil, gas,
Right. Is that
tourism,
right?
everything we have, there's no reason, look, farmers, crawfish, everything. There's no reason we can't be in the top 5 states in the nation in resources
That's
and
right.
development. We're falling behind on the ball. We need to capitalize on the resources we have here, keep our people here working here, not send them to Texas, everything. We don't need to raise taxes. Bring businesses here, creates jobs, and those taxes, business here will generate the revenue needed. We don't need to raise any taxes. If anything, we need to lower our taxes and,
Exactly.
and live within our means.
To attract more people. But I love how fired you're getting. I don't get to see that side of you that much,
I'm
at the Capitol. But and now this is not me. This is not me giving you the words. This is me how I feel when I watch other representatives or what I've seen. The best way to work is, when you say working together, it doesn't mean having to give up your ideologies or your beliefs. It just means finding those things that you have in common. And I like that approach. I like it when you can keep your values, stand firm on your values, stand firm on your own ideologies and beliefs at work, but still be able to work with somebody else that you disagree with to find a common solution that works for the better for everybody. And all too often, I think that either the problems are that people are digging in, on their own sides and not finding the things that they can agree on, or they're giving up their values to be able to come together for a consensus agreement that doesn't do good for anybody. Do you
right.
find that yourself?
I do, and I'm determined to do my part because values. I'm not letting go what I believe in. I'm staying true to myself. I'm fulfilling my promises to my constituents that I made the last time I ran, and I'm determined to do that again. Promises made, promises kept.
That's right. What I know we have a few minutes here. What are some of your plans to get some of these things done and get them across the finish line to be able to make those improvements that we talked about?
Well, one, we need to stop the wasteful spending.
Okay.
That we were thankful from the federal dollars that we got in here. We're just not using them correctly, in my opinion. Now, look, the 19, everybody talks about the 19, how brave we were. Bravery only comes in the results they're following after. So the money that we saved the state by negotiating and bringing that debt back down, we saved about 125 million annually. Let's take that money and then we can do these little projects. Because look, every town needs. I'm not saying those projects aren't needed.
Right.
Every town needs these projects to beautify your city, to attract families to come live here and want to be there. So if we can be fiscally responsible, that's the first step, in my opinion, to get this state back where we need to get it. But it won't happen unless we get the right people in office.
So are you supporting the A team? And you don't have to tell me who you're supporting. You think the team that you're helping out behind, or that you're on their side, that's to be the team to put together to be able to get this done and across the finish line?
A team, B team, whatever team gets in there, I'm going to work with them. I'm going to fulfill my obligations and my promises that I made to my constituents, because I'm determined. I want to be a part of the time that this state turns around. I want to be there, and I want to be thankful that I'm here. I love the state. I'm not going anywhere. I'm one of 9 kids. We all live in the state of Louisiana. And look, we're blessed. And again, the
We
resources,
really
everything
are.
we have here, it's phenomenal. I'm a fisherman. I'm a hunter. I do all that good stuff. I really love Louisiana, and I'm determined to make it successful. And I want to be a part of that when it happens.
Well, Representative Goudeau, I hope to see you in that number, and hope to see you when that comeback happens. And what's your district again? So that if anybody wants to vote for you or see more about you.
District 31, and again, that's South Lafayette Parish, North Vermilion Parish. And look, we are taking volunteers. If you're in my area, reach out to me, and we'll put you on our team and keep on knocking doors. It's hot out there, but we got to do it. We got to save ourselves. We got to do it.
Exactly right. Any final words before we head out?
Oh, look, thanks for having me. I know, again, it's hard for our schedules. We're in the heat of the campaign moment right here, so it's really hard to get our schedules to gel together. But I'm looking forward to seeing you Friday. I'm proud to be part of that 19 and get accolades for that day. And I'm going to keep fighting hard for my constituents and people, do what's best for Louisiana.
I love it. Representative Goudeau, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Stay hydrated, and I'll see you Friday.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Take it easy.